Hey, I know it's late. I know. Wait a minute. Wait, mute, mute, mute. Okay. Yeah, I know it's late. But here's the thing though. I am working so much this week that I'm not going to get a whole lot of like chances to stream during normal hours. So if there's any shit I want to get out there, I gotta do it when I can do it. So 1 second here. Why is it do that. No, fuck it, I don't really care what I look like. Screw it. All right. Okay. Hi. I'm not complaining. I love this kind of timing. Well, good. Good. At least some people do. But there's a lot of shit I kind of want to just fucking get out, I guess. Because oh good. At least someone's laughing. Hey Abracadabra. Hey Bobby and Gizmo. um so I I've been paying attention to Katie Joy's posts, obviously. And in fact, I even watched a couple of her YouTube videos, and now, like, I never do that, especially her uploads because they're just I don't really care. They're boring. But I wanted to see what her excuse was for coming after this docu-series as hard as she did, and the people in it, and all that shit. Oh, you're now put. She did release her new video because I know what clip she was. Renell messaged me the other day asking, "Hey, do you happen to you see this clip here? I know you used it in one of your videos. Do you still have it?" And I'm like, "There, this video." I'm like, "I don't, but I know where to find it." So I told her where she could find it. And as I did that, I was doing housework. I'm like, "Oh fuck it, I'm gonna check this out." Just watch this video that Renell was asking about because it's been a while. And as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, I know why Renell wants it. I'm like, oh, damn, that's going to be a good video. It's going to be such a good video. So I've been purposely not pulling up any clips of this video, even though I want to pull up some clips of this video. But instead, I'm going to be playing other clips, not from that video, from other video, a couple other live streams. But good, her video's up. I want to check. I want to see what it I see something. I'm not gonna watch it right now because I don't wanna take away views from her, so everyone needs to go and check out her video, seriously. I just wanna see what she included in it. Just gonna scroll through here real quick. She didn't use any of those okay, it's gotta be another video that she's working on because she didn't use any of those clips. Okay. Either way, I'm not gonna play them because Renelle asked for them. I helped her out. I'm not gonna be a bitch like that. Um, okay, so I've been watching like I said, I watched a couple of her videos because I wanted to see just exactly I wanna try and figure out, like, why. Like, I know, like, she was rejected by the docuseries and all that, yada, yada. I know that, yeah. But it just seems like there's more to this than what's going on. And then, like I said, Renelle asked me for that video, and I was watching the live stream in which, of Katie's that she was asking about, and it all was coming back to me. I'm like, "Oh." And the timeline kinda works out too because Katie was saying about how she was released from the docuseries at this time and yada, yada, and everything kinda works out timing-wise. And but she it's when she says that she's an advocate, that she's concerned about the real victims here, the victims who are upset about this, about Holt being involved and everything else. First of all, I want to say this, and I tried to say this on her one of Katie Joy's videos, but I have a feeling I'm black, so no one can see my comment. But here's the thing about why Jim Holt was involved in this. Because first of all, Jim Holt's not in the IBLP. I mean, Katie Joy herself has stated this. Um, this docuseries wasn't about any church. It was about the Duggars. It was about the scandal of the Duggars. It was about what kind of maybe helped breed that scandal and the things that led up to it. And that is includes like Gothard and the IBLP and yada yada. So But Jim Holtz was there to specifically talk about the Duggars, not about the IBLP. He wasn't there to talk about the IBLP or speak on behalf of any victims in the IBLP. He was there to give like testimony or whatever in regard to the Duggars and the past with them and the things that he himself had born, whatever he witnessed. Okay, excuse my lack of English here, but things that he witnessed, and he's uniquely a good witness there because he actually did. He was there for a lot of these things. He saw it happen. He was a part of it. In fact, even the US government realized that. That's why Bobby Holt gave the testimony she did in Josh Duggar's trial because they're I don't know, they're uniquely involved. So, unless and until there's another family who participated in much the same way that the Holts did and saw all the same things and was there for a part of all of it, um, really, there's no one else that can speak on it but the Holts. So, and I'm sorry that Katie Joy wants to see the IBLP taken down, but not unless it's taken down by the right person. I'm sure that the victims really appreciate that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sure, I'm sure that they don't want to see Holt or whatever, like the poster child of taking down the IBLP or whatever. But if he can give some sort of testimony that helps discredit this organization in the public arena, then what the fuck is the problem? He can be an asshole, but still offer something good here. Okay. And Katie Joy, even in one video, Katie Joy realized that people were likening this to how she had that Caleb person on her channel. The one that was almost orchestrated to be the fall guy for Josh Duggar. And the one that was also a registered sex offender because I don't know, because of his misconduct or whatever, his assault or whatever on someone who was a minor. And by minor, I mean like a few years younger than him as a teenager. I don't mean like a, minor. But not that there's anything better about that, but I do think that there is a slight difference, meaning that you can listen to I would say that you can listen to a lot of things he says um regarding Josh Duggar. But you can listen to the things that he says and hear it without making excuses for him, okay? Because you see, Katie Joy wants to trash this docuseries for having Jim Holt on or be a part of it or yada yada because he's an abuser. Well, then by her own standards, then she never should have had Caleb on, nor should she had ever tried to repair or improve his image while on her stream because she pointed out how he is now a mandated reporter. That's how much of a turnaround he did. And then she went into detail about how, oh yeah, well, sure, he did this bad thing. He's a registered essay, whatever. But I mean, he's not bad like Josh Duggar. Now, maybe he is, maybe he's not. I'm not here to make that judgment. I don't really, whatever. But I don't see how you can really go after a docuseries for taking what is needed, what is trusted, what is helpful from this one person and leaving the rest behind that isn't really relevant because he was there for testimony in Josh Duggar. He wasn't there for testimony on the IBLP because he wasn't in the IBLP. It was about the Duggars. So I don't see how you can sit there and say, okay, I will take you can't sit there and take this testimony and say, I'm just gonna leave all the bad shit behind. When you turn around and do the same shit on your channel, right? You're just as bad. You're just as bad. If that's bad, then you're just as bad. That's my opinion on it. Anyway, I also want to pull up something else and read something else here. Or read something, and then I'm gonna play a few older video clips. Hey Mo. Hey Totally Jane. Hey Jen McOwen. I was gonna say hi StreamYard. Anyways, okay. And I know I look like shit tonight. I got a sty in my eye down here, and I got another one coming up here. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. It's crazy. All right. Okay, so this did I read this one yesterday? I don't remember. I might have, but no, I don't think I did. I think this came out after I streamed. No, I didn't stream yesterday, did I? I don't fucking remember. Okay. This pissed me off. This pissed me off so bad. Oh, that's right. I didn't read this. No, but what I did read though was this part here. The beginning, it's not going to come up. Okay. So on you, this is where this screenshot here I seen on Twitter. Someone else had shared it. And this was someone who participated in the Amazon documentary. And they said to Katie, you don't speak for any of the survivors who are in this film. I am one of them. So unlike you, I can speak with actual authority over this. Amazon has treated all of us with the utmost respect and generosity. You know nothing about this film or what went into making it. And then someone else had commented here like, "Oh, or no, someone else has said something like, I saw your comment or whatever over at Katie Joy's." I forget what it was. I don't know. They said something about how they saw the comment, but then what they saw it was gone. To which Trippin then said, "I know she has, and she reported that, or meaning she deleted it. I know she has. She reported that comment for racism. So now I can't defend myself and this amazing project on her wall. Let other people know that the survivors she claims to care about are silenced on her site. She is a fraud and a liar." Now, here's how Katie decided to handle this because this had to be handled. She wrote the person, um, oh yeah, she also gave the person's real name there and all that and screenshot, whatever. But she wrote them a DM and she said, "I saw your comment, and I am sure you are upset with me. I do know a bit about this production. I do not discount your work at all. I'm speaking to the survivors not in the film that are upset. All of you were brave for sharing your stories. I signed a release to be in this production in the very early stages and worked with several producers for several months. I don't know when you were brought on. I can't speak to that because I never interacted with you. Your work and your participation is brave, and I truly hope you feel positive about all of this. It's a big deal. I commend you for speaking out so boldly." Does anyone else just feel like this is just incredibly condescending? I do. I can speak 100, or I can 100% speak to my involvement and my interactions with producers and our conversations about Jim Holt. The chick doesn't give a shit about that. She didn't. Okay, I digress. Next screenshot. Why didn't I go to the next screenshot? There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. It's just breaking that one down. Okay, I guess I was. Oh no, it's right. It's what she said here. Um, Yesterday, a woman that participated in the docuseries commented on my photo that I couldn't speak for the survivors in the series. She also said that I knew nothing about the production. This is how fucking this is how fucking egotistical Katie is. She couldn't let this survivor who participated in this docuseries just have that. Just she couldn't just leave it alone. Okay. She had to do everything I'm about to show you. And then she had to put it up on display to further shame this person or try to shame this person. The only person she actually brought shame upon was herself. Knowing that she was upset, and rather than having a public argument, why would there be a fucking argument? Why? I deleted her comment and sent her a long message in DM on Instagram. In other words, you are silencing her. You are taking away her voice, her platform in which to speak on, which for granted is your platform, but it's still the social media platform. You took it away. And then you approached her privately. So you're basically telling her, don't comment on my fucking profile. You can talk to me in private. Okay. I said, but first you have to read my long ass message. That's basically it. I wanted to engage in a conversation and let her know that I'm not against her at all, but I wanted to do it privately. Brooke did not respond to my DMs. bitch. And I'm still very much open to talking to her. I'm still open. She then went on another page and said, I reported her for racism. I did not report her for racism. Yeah, because Instagram's just going to lie about that, right? My post was never about speaking for all survivors. I was speaking to the survivors I was getting messages from who were upset Jim Holt was involved in the series. No, what you should have done is kept Brooke's fucking comment there public. And if you wanted to discuss it with her, then you should have discussed it with her right there in the public. And these private messages, or these messages you're getting from DMs or whatever, you should have kept your conversation with them private in DMs rather than making that public. I'm not lying about Jim Holt's abuse of his kids or Bobby. No one said you were. No. The restraining order or my discussions with producers about Jim Holt's abuse and my concerns of his involvement in the series. Nobody gives a shit about your fucking concerns. Who do you think you are? Who the fuck are you? All survivors are welcome to share their opinions as long as, I don't disagree with them. And I have been posting their thoughts. Well, the ones who came to me in DMs telling me how wonderful I am for 2 days now. All the opinions are vastly different in their feelings, and that some just worship the ground I walk on, and some are just mildly thankful. I've gotten close to several survivors and people that worked very close with Bill Gothard. I got the hookup. They expressed sadness to me about Jim Holt's involvement, along with other IBLP survivors. Why? He's not in the IB. He wasn't there to speak about the IBLP. He was there to speak about Josh and the Duggars. All survivors are welcome here. I just might delete anything you have to say. I would still welcome Brooke to a conversation where we can speak about the situation in more details. I would gladly show her all of my text, emails, and call logs if necessary. She can read the court log about Jim Holt. I will provide her screenshots of the abuse allegations. In other words, see, this is what this is telling me. If she were to do that, if Brooke were to actually give her the time of day and look at all this shit, and Brooke were to still be like, still, who the fuck are you? You don't have any right to speak on behalf of survivors. Shut the fuck up. Katie would then go after Brooke, and Katie would say, she apparently must support abuse because she's not calling out Amazon or the producers or Jim Holt. She just cares about, I don't know, the people who are in the docuseries. She doesn't care about anyone else. That's what would happen. IBLP survivors that aren't happy with Jim Holt's involvement have a right to feel that way. I never claimed to speak for Brooke. And again, I'm so impressed with her bravery and courage for speaking out. I also want to add something. Okay, I was speaking to the survivors I was getting messages from who were upset Jim Holt was involved in the series. We see, and Katie uploaded a video where she put a post out. She says that she put a post out asking, you know, are there, are you, are there anyone, or is there anyone are there people who are feeling a certain way about Jim Holt's involvement? Like, she went fishing for people. And so I have no doubt that upon doing so, she probably, hooked a few or whatever. And then they moved into DMs, or they DM'd to her or whatever. And this is what kills me about Katie. I have no doubt that Katie went fishing for these people, or even reached out and knew a couple of them and messaged them directly and asked them that same question. And then they came back and said how, yeah, no, they're not happy about it. Yeah, it's fucked up or whatever. They're kind of upset about it. And then she words it as, I was speaking to the survivors I was getting messages from who were upset Jim Holt was involved in the series. She'll leave out how she initiated those message threads and asked the question, prompted them even. And then they just appeased her by giving her an answer. And then she's turning into, I am their savior. That's what she does. Um, I just want to see the comments here real quick. Oh, this one is funny. So, oops, what the hell? This person here. I have become quite confused over the middling of issues. Is- Okay. I watched the documentary and I continue to applaud those who did the hard work to evolve from IBLP victim to survivor. I understand that Mr. and Mrs. Holt's marriage is imploding in real time, while interviews taped months earlier are being released. I am unclear what comments were made and by whom, thus igniting a well choreographed distraction from the truly abusive plans and activities, to which Katie responds. Well choreographed distraction. I didn't choreograph anything. Like, bitch, who said you did? No one said you did. Wow. Got something on your mind there, Katie? Anyway. Oh, then this person talking about Brooke says she didn't just appear in the series. She was a consulting producer. Well, that's a massive conflict of interest, and I'm aware. Yep, she's coming for you, Brooke. She's coming for you. So she okay. Oh, then there's these here. I want to go. These are the text messages she shared from between her and Jim Holt. Which Holt, yeah, sure, he's a piece of shit. No one's going to say otherwise. You're not going to convince me otherwise, anyways. But what the fuck is Katie doing? Like, come on. So here's what they say. Wow, I would love to know who your source is so I could talk to them. I want them to go public if they can. This is where she's been saying since last year between she and Amy had their falling out that Amy sent this person, Jim Holt, to Katie and to I don't know for whatever reason. And then this person was just the only reason why this person wanted to talk to Katie was just so that they could get Katie's sources. So and she used this as an excuse as to why Amy really was someone, a bad person or whatever, because she's trying to hurt these sources or whatever. I'm not revealing my sources, Jim says. I know that, nor would I ask you to. Yeah, boy, he sure sounds like he's after those fucking sources. Um, I want to know the beginning of this, the upper part of this conversation so bad. But Jim says, through the grapevine, good way to put it, and hide your source. But yeah, that's what Katie does. Katie says, I don't want to expose anyone or any victims. I'm not sure why she has an arrow there. I mean, he's obviously saying, like, oh, yeah, no, the way you put it is a good way to hide your source. If anything, it sounds like Jim Holt is almost saying to her, like, sure, your source, because that's also in Mark's there. It's almost like he's saying, wink, wink, source. Like he realizes she probably doesn't have a source and she's making shit up, but she's just saying through the grapevine. That's what it sounds like Jim Holt saying right there. It doesn't not at all read to me that he's trying to trick her or wear her down into telling him her sources. It sounds like he's mocking her or whatever for not having a source. One more thing I'm going to look into. This must stop. It needs to be burned to the ground. What? Okay, that. I'm sorry, Katie. I just don't get it. I just don't. Vigilantism is starting to look pretty good right now. I'm not being serious, by the way. But seriously, this crap has got to stop. These poor kids and the scars they're carrying for the rest of their lives. Shaking my head. Had a friend just send us some text about someone reporting that Bobby and I had the same beliefs as the Duggars. Absolutely unsure. Okay, I don't give a shit about that. Okay, now before I continue, I want to read what she wrote here to the side. She says, for context, here are some text exchanges with Jim Holt and I from late 2021 and early 2022. When I was put in touch with Jim Holt through Amy Duggar, I had no idea that he and Bobby had signed on to a docuseries. Josh had just been convicted, and leading up to the trial, many sources came forward to share their experiences with the Duggars. I agreed to protect their identities due to the real fear of retaliation and the criminal trial. Once I began speaking to Jim Holt, I began to realize that he came to me to get my sources. These are only a few examples. Trust me, there are more. And there were hours of phone calls. Sure, Jan. Jim Holt always called and would try to keep me on the phone for hours. I don't doubt that. I don't, because I have no doubt that Jim Holt in his life has probably had these thoughts and these feelings about the Duggars, Jim Bob especially, and the whole family really, and it was not able to discuss that with anyone ever. So I have no doubt that he had a lot to get out. It always felt like an interrogation. Oh my God, here we go. Everything to her seems like an interrogation. Jesus Christ, we she gave the same fucking story and bullshit thing back in, well, I read the report anyways in 2020. It always felt like an interrogation to break me down and have me accidentally tell him who I was speaking to. Then you're a shit ass journalist, quote unquote journalist. If you could be that easily tricked into accidentally giving up a source and just destroying whatever safety net they had. Thankfully, I was in touch with a source who I confided in about my weird feelings about Jim Holt. They explained that Jim worked for the military and was trained as a part of the NASA NSA as a part of the NASA NSA. And why I keep saying NASA, but I know it's not. And was trained as part of the NSA as a part. What part? Like he was a whole part of it? Like what does that even mean? I mean, basically it's an analyst. That's what the NSA is mostly consists of, is fucking analysts. One of his jobs was to gain information from people, they told me. I'm thankful for the help from the source who helped me learn how to deal with Jim and not bend to him. Oh my God, dude, you cannot be speaking on behalf of victims if you're just fucking bending to people like this. Oh my God. I know this sounds hard to believe, trust me. It felt like I was in a spy movie. Everything with her is such an elaborate story and such an elaborate scheme on how she was tricked. She was lied to. She was manipulated. She trusted people and they they shit all over her. She's such a victim to her own naivete. Anyway, I refused to give him my sources. At the trial, Jim Holt apparently approached another blogger and asked her if she was my source. She told me the next day it happened. When Jim couldn't, well, why would the other blogger be a source? Wouldn't the blogger then be putting the information out on their own blog if they were in the know? Why would they be a source for another? Yeah, whatever. When Jim couldn't get the source information from me, he put me in touch with producers. During my interactions with them, my contacts and sources were of interest to them. Yeah, probably because the producers wanted people to participate. Mhm. My platform is built on allowing people from cults to share with me anonymously, and I protect their identity in order to build trust and allow them to share without fear of retaliation. I want to read that again because this is going to tie into the rest of my stream here. My platform is built on allowing people from cults to share with me anonymously, and I protect their identity in order to build trust and allow them to share without fear. Jim alluded to working on something big for a while. I had not clue there was a series in the works. Oh my God, there's a wrong there. He mentioned getting a book deal in our phone calls, but in text he mentioned he was thinking of writing a book. I never gave out my sources to Jim Holt or producers. I also found out Jim Holt was abusive, which I shared in previous posts. More context and transparency. So now I'm going to finish reading these screenshots here. Whatever, I like to keep the details. Jim Bob has once again really pissed me off. His lies just keep getting worse. The day of the evidentiary hearing made me think it's time to tell the whole truth. Book, interview, don't know yet. I hate doing stuff like that. Okay, sure. But I'm tired of these so-called Christians lying about everything, then raking non-believers over the coals for the same thing, but not nearly as bad as etc. That they are excusing because it's one of their own. I guarantee you they're not one of mine, and they sure aren't one of God's. Jim Bob never repents, though. Yes, ma'am, agreed. Apologizes and says we have to forgive him now, or we're the ones who aren't Christian and loving, forgiving. Jesus actually says, and if they repent, forgive them. Repentance means to turn. Okay, I'm not going to go through all that bullshit. I feel like after what you've told me that Josh wanted help and they refused, which really made everything worse. And wouldn't surprise me at all. It now makes sense to me why he wouldn't hold Jim Bob accountable. Oh, the Doty guy. When he was supposed to be Jim Bob's pastor back then, slash or Bible teacher at the Duggars church. We met with Doty. Doty heard what was going on about JB lying about us. Doty shrugged and did nothing. So the meeting was about him lying or about going to the police? Lying. I'd have to think and look through our journals. Who the fuck journals this shit? We had already fulfilled our obligation about going to the police at that time. Doty was only there, I believe, for a short time. We went to Doty to hold JB accountable somewhere around 2007 to 2008, I believe. Maybe it was about not doing the show too. I'd have to see the time frame. Someone says, what? Interesting, very interesting. Well, nice to know another person's journaling saved their lives. What he said about waiting for the fruit of repentance to grow. That's why I recently ended a relationship, though my recent ex, did say the Duggars are in the context of my wanting to not kiss till marriage. Then, oh, what? Why the fuck do people word shit like that? That's wow. Fuck you. Anyways, Katie says, you realize Jim is an abuser, right? And everything he claims to believe and his moral authority over Jim Bob is false. Why are you so desperate to get your sources? What exactly was he going to do with them? He wanted them for the docuseries. When Jim and Bobby were signed on, it was only them and Amy and Deanna. When I spoke to producers, they were in the very early stages and had no one from the IBLP signed and had no one from the immediate Duggar family. The producers used participants in a grassroots effort to find people willing to appear on camera. Yeah. I learned this is standard in many of these series about cults since people are so apprehensive to speak on camera. I'd say it's standard, pretty much or documentaries, whatever. I hope you didn't give it to him. He never got my sources. Well, he'd be the first one who never got your sources, then wouldn't he? Very. Shh. What? Yeah, I remember hearing from close friends about what Jim was like. He is scary to me. He very calculated, devious, and controlling. Very calculated. She agrees. This was not calculated. This sounds like someone who just really hasn't talked to people much, talking to people. That's what it sounds like. All right. And it's here. Okay, so oh, here we go, right here. I'm going to read this and then we're going to watch some videos. Katie wrote this 11 hours ago. One of the hardest part One of the hardest part of this documentary for me is seeing the survivors that I've grown to care about become activated, triggered, and feeling an overwhelming sense of panic. Oh my God, learn how to learn English. I don't. This sentence right there kind of bugs me though. I could see like being hurt whatever, being disappointed and shit like that. But it's almost like she's trying to put these out in the universe in hopes that these are the feelings that come about. So she can sit there and say, "See, I told you so. I told you." That activated, triggered sense of panic. To those of you that have been triggered over the past few days, know that you are supported and loved. You are not defined by your past, by you past. You have a right to feel all your feelings right now. I know what many of you want is justice for the crimes committed. Those answers have not come yet. Just hold on and know you have a community here that loves you. Okay, so let's go watch some videos now. Let me see here. So we're going to, I'm going to pull these up on Twitter. I'd like to, once again, as always, like wholeheartedly, like just immensely thank Llama Girl on Twitter because of her diligent and like documentation of Katie's live streams for quite a while now. Her back when she did them frequently, because Katie would often delete them like shortly thereafter. But Llama Girl very often caught them as they were happening. So even if she deleted them right after, they were already grabbed. So I want to thank her for this. And if anyone wants to check her out, there's a link to her in the description of this. And there's also a link to the buy me a coffee thing for Llama Girl, because she does this. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. She's not she doesn't get paid for any of her social media presence. She doesn't do this for money. She doesn't get paid in anywhere except for if someone buys her coffee here and there. So it's because of her that many of us here on YouTube who talk about Katie and talk about other shit, we have content in which to show and to support the things that we say and to prove our points and whatever, and to just remind people. It's because of Llama Girl, oftentimes, that any of us can do that, myself very much so included. So just want to say that. Now, yep, that one. Okay, so oh shit. Okay, so we're going to start. Yeah, we're going to start with that one here. So I did an advanced search, just searching her account only, and I'm searching between the dates of 27 or 20 February 1st, 2022 to February 7th, 2022, and I came up with this here. Wait a minute, I thought I made that more direct, so I didn't have to pull up more. It's not. No, I didn't. Okay. So and then I clicked over to videos here, so that's all I have now are videos. Let me just check chat real quick before I start playing. Why am I in top chat? Wait, it's my channel. Why did that fucking thing come up? That's weird. Oh. Haley. Hey, Frankie. Well, I'm not muted, am I? Oh no, it's yeah, you see it playing, but you won't hear the sound yet. I have to click on it and click the sound. That's why you're not hearing the sound yet. God, you scared me there for a second. I thought, holy shit, have I been muted this whole fucking time? Hi, Chris. Okay. Wait, let me 4,000. There
play a biased fucking game where I'm not. You don't live in the real world if you believe that a man is superior to a woman and that.
First of all, I want to just read here. I'm gonna skip that first sentence, okay? But she goes off at she says she wasn't going to kiss Amy's ass and calls her Amy King Duggar, whatever you want to call her. She says she wasn't going to do what Amy wanted. There's more though from this live stream.
Your place in society trumps a woman's because you have a penis. I mean, let's be honest. Just because a guy has a fucking dick, they are superior to women. Because why? Because they have a penis and testosterone. I mean, the only difference between a man and a woman is a penis and a vagina. So if a man has a penis and a woman has a vagina, apparently the penis is more powerful than the vagina. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. And having a
To that, I want to actually make a comment. Now, it was a meme I saw years ago, and it was said, the meme claimed that Betty White said it. I don't know if that's true or not. It's a fucking meme. Who knows who said it? But it says that I wish people would stop saying man up, stop being such a pussy or whatever. Because I'll tell you, there's nothing more tough than a pussy because those things can really take a pounding. Anyway.
vagina doesn't make you inferior to a man that has a penis. It just doesn't work that way. So, no, we don't hate Jill and Derek again. You know what, internet tour guide, you are one of those people. And I'm just gonna call you out because you do this shit all the time in the comments. I don't love anyone that I report on. Period. I'm not friends with these people. I'm not best friends with these people. I'm not their friends. I am not here to be anyone's friend. You can point out shit that people do that's wrong and seriously be truthful. I'm not here to play a biased fucking game where I placate someone to pitch their narrative so that you like them. Derek and Jill are still homophobic. That doesn't change anything. Derek and Jill still have beliefs that don't actually align with the mainstream. That doesn't mean we hate someone. Why is it that people go from I like you to I hate you? No, you know what? I have COVID and my Spectrum kid was crying. I'm sorry that you have COVID and I'm sorry that your kid has crying, but like you do that shit all the time in my comments. Oh, you hate Derek and Jill now? Like, dude, people don't, you can actually factually speak about someone and not kiss someone's ass. I'm not going to kiss someone's ass so that they can be, so I can get information from them. Why? Why would I? It's no different than Amy King Duggar or Duggar King, whatever you, it's no different. I wasn't going to kiss her ass and delete comments or delete content. I wasn't going to kiss her ass and do what she wanted. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm not here to be someone's friend. And
I like that though. Don't use your crying Spectrum kid at me. Like that's exactly what she sounded like. But okay. Let me find more from that one. All right. Wait, we'll come back to those. There's one in particular I'm looking for. Okay, here we go.
And the men that I've had I'm going to be frank, like I have not dealt with the kind of narcissism that's in this specific group of people. And the men that I've had the opportunity to speak to, I would say only maybe one or two, I think, aren't narcissists. It's been a lot of men kind of pointing fingers at each other, and everyone kind of like, well, they were worse than we were. I wasn't as bad as this guy. This guy is the one that's the really bad guy. And you know, it's sad because there's really no way to tackle a world like this because you want to know why nobody speaks out. I learned why. I learned why nobody shares. I learned why no one testifies. I learned why people cover for each other. Because if they come forward, their secrets get exposed too. And they all have secrets. They're all doing just horrible shit. And it's sad. It's really sad. And so one person comes forward and they testify against this person, but then they have their own shit in their own house that's just as bad. And they don't report things to the police. So some of you guys were like, if you're reporting on something, why aren't you reporting this stuff to the police? Okay, I made a video, post a couple days ago about child abuse. When I'm reporting about child abuse, the claims that I'm hearing about are 20 years old. So am I supposed to call the police about claims that are 20 years old and report child abuse from 20 years ago that's from secondhand, not from the actual person, but people that saw it or saw the bruises? Like, I can't report stuff that I was not a witness to and I don't have firsthand knowledge of. So no, I can't report this abuse. These claims are like 15, 20 years old. These people are adults. Many of them are adults. But it doesn't change the fact that nothing might be able to be done legally, but maybe people knowing who these people are and what they're doing can hold people accountable. You know, we can't force, I mean,
addressing chat here. Hey, Bill I. What's up? I'm still gonna call you Bill I don't know. It just looks how it reads to me. Her and Amy, I don't think that they're best buds, first of all, but this video here that I'm playing is just over a year, or no, it's more than just over a year old. It's almost a year and a half old. But it ties into some shit here that I was talking about earlier. So that's all.
I mean, the statute of limitations for child abuse isn't very big. The only one that has no statute is like murder.
Okay. Mhm. Skim over it, maybe? Okay. Wait, what? I missed this.
She lives near me. Sorry. That's my neighbor. Someone said, do your neighbors watch you? Do your friends watch you? Melissa's sort of my neighbor. She lives near me.
Holy shit, Llama Girl. I didn't know you got that. Fuck.
You do almost every day.
Now, the reason why this is okay, the reason why this matters, it has to do with the time that Katie says that the sheriffs were called to her house because someone made a false report that claiming that Katie was hiding Brian Landry in her basement. When people there was a manhunt out and shit for him. So I ended up submitting a FOIA request to her county's sheriff's department, specifically for 911 call logs for her city on these specific dates that she says that sheriffs were called to her house. So, and I did confirm that sheriffs were in fact called to her house all these times, but I had the call logs, so I was also able to learn the reason why they were called to her house. More importantly, the day that she was talking about how Brian Landry, or the Brian Landry call came in or whatever, that was, she says that's why sheriffs were called. Someone sent in a tip to the FBI in Denver or something, said Katie Joy Paulson in whatever Minnesota is harboring a known fugitive by the name of Brian Landry, and then sheriffs went out there looking for Brian. This is what she claims. This was her story. All that. The call logs, though, that I received told a different story. They showed that, sure, their sheriff's department did in fact get this call from Denver or whatever FBI, but the call came into dispatch when the cops were already at her house. So the cops were already at her house, like talking with her, when they got the call that Brian was in the basement. She failed to mention that they were already called to her house. And that's when she was talking about this, though. This is the chat that Llama Girl's talking about. The chat. Melissa in this chat here is the neighbor. Is in the chat is the one who said Katie lied about the reason the sheriff turned up one time. I didn't know that she confirmed that Melissa was her neighbor. That's interesting. Thank you for that. All right, here we go. Okay, I think I must have messed it up here. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, it's over here. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, so this is the one I it's here. Katie, what the fuck? This is from December 9th, 2021. What the fuck? Katie says, assume all the Duggars use corporal punishment and their kids using things like rods unless they say they don't. At 41 seconds, she huffs because someone said something. But there's also more there too. Right here. This is it. Katie says women in these cults are co-conspirators. She says all the Duggars use corporal punishment. She starts naming them. It's like she's wanting her subs to call CPS without actually telling them in order that she doesn't get into trouble. Oh wait, shoot.
Or even
Why
like
did that come up?
pointed out is just because these women are told that they can't say no to their husbands, or the real world where we live here, you have to abide by the law. You have to follow the law. And corporal punishment is child abuse. And forcing your wife into a submissive role where she can't even say no, or even like another thing that Rebecca pointed out is just because these women are told that they can't say no to their husbands, if their husbands tell them to do illegal shit and they do it, they are supposed to have a duty to say no to their husbands about doing illegal shit, but they don't. So that's why I've said so many times in the past that the women in these cults become co-conspirators and perpetrators. This is why we fight so hard to get these kids out and to wake the younger people up. So these this I don't even know what you want to call it. Like this cycle just stops repeating itself. There are several Duggar kids that regularly use corporal punishment on their kids, you know? So those cute little photos that you're seeing on Instagram, just remember that a lot of those kids are getting hit with a rod. It's not okay. And they know it's not okay. And they know that they're not supposed to use the language. They actually know it's illegal. So they just use words like correction and biblical discipline, because they know if they tell you that they're using a rod, they could get called in on like they could literally get reported to CPS. So I believe Jessa might use corporal punishment. I don't know. I think Joy and Austin might. I know that Derek and Jill say that they don't. They've said that publicly.
I didn't catch that before. They say that they don't. They've said that publicly. They say that they don't. Okay. How?
I don't know about like, I don't think, I would be shocked. Actually, no. Jeremy has defended, Jeremy and Ginger has actually defended corporal punishment in sermons. So I don't know, this was before he had kids, but before Jeremy had kids, he flat out said that it's biblical to use corporal punishment. I don't know. You'd have, all I'm going to say is you have to consider the source. It's going to be, in my opinion, the exception that they don't. And the rule is that they do. So just assume they do it until they tell you that they don't. Joanna refuses to answer questions about it. But Jessa has done posts about how you need to train up your children. So I'm pretty sure Jessa does.
What the fuck?
They call it spanking, but it's not spanking. It's not spanking. They use rods. Yes, the Bates also use corporal punishment. Gil Bates has had sermons just joking about like wailing on his kids. But nobody ever listens to me when I tell them that the Bates are doing the same shit. They always act like I'm just being a meanie because I'm, God forbid, I bring up the fact that they're in the same cult with the same belief system and do the same shit. The cycle needs to stop.
All right. I'm gonna switch back over to here, I think. How's that? I forgot about this fucked up one. Jesus Christ. Okay. My point in all this is that she does not look at the women who are in this, I don't know, religious sect, this group or whatever. Oops, wrong one. She does not look at them as victims. She doesn't see them as people in which to advocate on behalf of. She sees them as part of the cancer. All right, so this is, I'm going to give a trigger warning here for this one clip. Where am I? How far into this am I? 58:43. Let me make a note of that so I know to put it in the description. So if you don't want to be here for this, come back and, oh, wait a minute. Let me start here. It was 58:43. Okay. So if you don't want to hear this, leave now and come back in 2.5 minutes. Okay. How did it go? Oh, here we go.
Ownership of your body, your sexual sale by your parents. It is not your parents' ownership of your body. Your sexuality belongs to you and to you alone, and nobody, not your parents, not a man, not a woman, no one has a right to take that from you and tell you how and when you're going to lose your virginity and who you're going to lose it to. You have that choice. You have the choice alone. It belongs to no one else but you. Don't be coerced, manipulated, or controlled into having to do something that you don't want to do. Nor should you have to be forced to stay pure because your parents tell you that if you're not, you're going to be stuck in damnation forever. The fact of the matter is by the time a lot of these girls are married, they're not pure because their dads or their brothers have raped them.
So it's like the hypocrisy within this cult that is the most sickening to me, because they are so obsessed with their daughters being pure, yet most of the girls have had experiences with sexual abuse. It's more common that I speak to a girl from this cult that they're sexually abused than not. I can literally think on one hand, the number of people I've spoken to from this cult that were not sexually abused. One hand. My inbox every single day is flooded with girls that grew up in this cult that have been sexually abused by their dads, their brothers, their uncles, peers, boys at the training centers, leaders at the training centers, elders in the church, their pastors, and everyone's covering for everyone. It's like a pedophile's garden, and the like children that they all want. And it's weird because they keep their wives pregnant constantly, and it's almost like they keep their wives pregnant to distract them from actually wanting to have sex so that they can do whatever they want to do and abuse whoever they want to abuse. So because when your wife is always pregnant, she's tired and she's like exhausted, and she's not going to know what's going on because she's freaking tired, because it's hard to be pregnant with 19 children. Someone actually made the comment like, Michelle's Duggar's back looks horrible. That's because she had 19 kids. She was having like back problems when she was on like before 19 or 14 kids and pregnant again. She had back pain because of all of the labors and all of the pregnancies. Your body, a woman's body needs to rest.
So basically, she's saying that pretty much every person in this cult, or majority, I'm guessing women, but I'm thinking she means people, have been abused. Which, I mean, I don't know what to read. I don't. It's not. I don't need to know either. And she's saying that pretty much every male in this cult who is a father and a brother has been the perpetrator of abuse. I mean, just that's, you can't make overbroad statements like that, especially when it comes to people who have been kind of brainwashed. And you just can't do that. Okay.
Is getting to Jana and getting to Anna. That's what people are most concerned about. They're also concerned about Jessa. But people that have left are concerned about Jana and Anna. But the reality for Anna, though, is that she's got other mountains to climb right now, because I'm not accusing Anna of anything here. I'm only speaking to a survivor's story that told me this yesterday. Some of the fathers are so weird about the sexual abuse that happens in their families that some of the fathers get the mothers to involved in it. So mothers then can become sexual abusers of the children as well. So multiple at the direction of the father. So Anna has kind of bigger hills to climb right now because they have to verify if anything happened to the kids. Multiple victims have reached out to me that said their moms were part of the sexual abuse as well. And the survivors have also told me that it's important to distinguish that a lot of the people that leave end up leaving with a lot of guilt because they were once abusing people as well, because the cult creates abusers. And so indirectly they get involved in normalized abuse because it's what's being taught to them. So the ones that end up leaving very like feeling guilty that they hurt other people or that they abused someone, because while they were in the cult it was normal. And just because a woman is a victim of like her husband, indirectly a lot of the women end up becoming the abusers of their children.
Okay, one more thing I want to show. I thought it was that date. Okay, why wasn't it coming up in the other one? Okay, so I'm gonna have to add another trigger warning. I'm sorry. So that's part one. Where's okay. Oh, I was looking at the wrong date. Okay. So there's been a lot of talk lately about the kind of material Josh Duggar downloaded and comments Katie has made on it. Um, it's a lot of people have been wondering or have been talking about Katie said that she viewed something or whatever. I don't know if she did or not. I don't remember her saying that. But I believe that this is not the clip that they're talking about, but this does add some sort of I don't know. I don't know. It adds some validity maybe to that. So again, I'm gonna have to give it a trigger warning here. Let me see what time it is. 106:16. Okay. So let me check. I don't remember what it was. Yep, okay, good. I did good. Okay. So there's gonna be two clips. So here's where the trigger warning is going to start. Come back in like 5 minutes.
I start looking at the hardest thing for me, you guys, and I'll be honest, and I just want to share this with you, is that this process for me has been challenging. And if I do get points where I feel like I'm irritated or I'm short of patience or whatever, is that this is a hard topic to talk about, right? And then you have to explain technical things that are not easy to explain. But then on top of that, while I'm doing all of this, I'm trying to also understand the ring of people that he was involved in, because that's how this exists. None of this stuff would circulate if there weren't rings of people like Josh that were sharing this information, sharing this content, uploading it with each other, all of that. And so when I started seeing what was on his computer based on what was in the based on what was in the court, so I start looking at the players, right? Of who made these videos, what happened to them, where's like, are the kids safe? Some of the kids are safe. The other kids, like I tried to find out on some of them. Unfortunately, like you're not going to know. He happened to download one that was very famous and notorious, I guess. And so I can say, like, yes, the kids that were in this one were rescued, except one was not alive. But as I was trying to get my backstory on that specific video and that person, Peter Scully, I did a Google search. And I did the Google search. And then you know how sometimes when you do a Google search, you can go to the images? And I was specifically looking for an image of, I think, him being arrested or something like that. And I was also looking for the baby, because everyone was like, is the baby okay? So I wanted to know, first off, was there a video that had a baby? Because the DOJ said it was a 3 to 4 month old baby. And the one DD video, it's supposedly an 18-month-old girl. So I wasn't clear if there was a separate video or if that was the video he was talking about.
And one more.
I get into Facebook, right? Because there's an image somehow connected to Facebook. So when I Googled that, as I'm looking to see, okay, was there a baby and is that baby safe? I get into Facebook, right? Because there's an image somehow connected to Facebook. And the Philippine press, I'm not even lying, took still images of the video and censored portions of it. And even censored. It's on Facebook.
and I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it. I didn't even want to see it. It was fully censored, right? It's on Facebook. You can't see the person's face. You can't see the other person's face, but you can see.
I'm gonna stop there because I know how she goes in to describe more of it, and I know I said trigger warning and everything, but it's a bit much. She didn't want to see it though. She didn't want to see it because I mean, it's just the way she said, I can't unsee it. And I didn't even want to see it. Like, this is how she's saying it. First, why are you can Google shit about the dude who made this movie or whatever, who's in jail for this movie. You can find an image of him without. I mean, I feel like she didn't just Google this person's name. She Googled like the movie or something. She Googled more to it, and she wanted to learn more about the movie so she could have this video here, so she could have this moment where she was telling you guys how fucking disgusting and horrible Josh Duggar is. Like, look at that fucking piece of shit. Look at that disgusting fucking person. Look at what he did. That's what she wanted. She wanted that opportunity to, rightfully so, but still, to point her finger and to like take all this negative attention that goes to herself or anyone else and point it at somebody else and just fucking ride that home and just that's what she does with everyone though that she points the finger at. Sure, okay, Josh Duggar, it's probably warranted. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay. But there's so many people who she points the finger at where it's not warranted. Like Letitia Bias comes to mind, but all right, I digress. I'll get off of that. So many people she's talked about. That's what she does. She tries to she goes out of her way to find the most horrific, horrible things that she can about someone. And she's giddy to tell the world about it. I mean, and that's what she's going to do with this documentary and with those involved. And probably with Brooke too, who commented there on her wall or whatever. She's going to come after everyone who was a part of that documentary. That not just the producers, not Amazon or whatever. No, she's going to go for the weaker ones or the ones she sees or views or believes are weaker. That's going to be the people who gave their stories. Um, she's pissed. She's pissed that she was overlooked. She's pissed that there aren't more people coming to her defense or whatever right now. She's pissed. And the thing is that she knew all this shit about Jim Holt a year ago when when she was talking to him, right? Right shortly thereafter. She didn't just find out that he was this horrible abuser or whatever when she found out about the restraining order in April of this year. According to her, she heard all these things about Jim Holt like over a year ago. In fact, that's why the documentary like dropped her, whatever, because she warned them about Jim Holt. Jim Holt, then by her recollection, by Katie's story, Jim Holt then turned around and turned everyone against Katie. And that's why she got dropped because she told them what an abuser he was. Well, why did she tell the world? Why didn't she tell people then? Why did she tell people, the survivors then, who might be participating in this documentary along with Jim Holt? Why didn't she care then? But now that it's out, now that she's been shamed, like made to feel like a joke, now she's gonna tell people. And I'm telling you right now, like if she had the opportunity to show Brooke all of her shit and Brooke didn't instantly or whatever, just completely flip script and subscribe to Katie's narrative, she would go for Brooke. She'd go for her pretty hard, probably. That's what she does. Um, why am I in the, no? Where am I in that? I need to be on videos. Okay, that was it for that day. All right. Where is? I don't have it up anymore, do I? Shit. Oh, there we go. So, two, two. Now I want to try and cleanse the palate a little bit here. Play something that's, comical a little bit, maybe. What did I do wrong? Until 2/8. It was, the second. That's what I was doing wrong. Okay. Okay. This is back to the page I was on originally. We're just going to go through and watch a bunch of these because it's funny. Why not?
It's old. Change. It's I already explained, Lisa, about the abuse. It's old. It's old. Anyways,
Oh, shit.
they are all beating their kids. Sad. Here's the thing. If you're
All right. I got to address chat here. First of all, hi down the rabbit hole bedtime. How are you? Good to see you. Glad you're here. And Sally B. At least I waited for traffic though to get stopped at the red light before I peed in the road. I mean, sure, I have sty, but at least I didn't get hit and pee all over myself. So tell your grandfather thanks for the advice.
you're in this culture and you're hanging out with the Duggars and you're like, these are great people. And then they're giving you books about beating the shit out of your kids and you're like co-signing to that. Like, what's going on in your life that you're like, this is a great idea? Really? You were still there. You were still conversing with them. You were still believing that.
So loud. Why did she do that?
I love you, Pixie, too. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's beneficial. I mean, lying isn't Christian. Beating your children isn't Christian. Everyone wants to be Christian, but they're all like the Antichrist in a way. Oh, the Help Meet book by Debbie Pearl. So gross. The Help Meet book by Debbie Pearl is so gross. Yes, the book that they give each other on like wedding nights. Disgusting. 100%. Blanket training. I know. Hi, Melissa.
All right, we're gonna go to the next one. Um, she calls someone a jerk ass. What? Oh my God, I gotta hear this.
They can leave the IBLP, but some of those beliefs are so deeply ingrained that they don't let those things go. Like, here's an example. Jill Dillard believes that the earth is only 6,000 years old because that's what they teach in the IBLP, and it's false. There is way too much like scientific evidence that proves that the earth has been around longer than 6,000 years, but they refuse to look at the information. And in a YouTube video, Jill and Derek talk about this, and Derek, who seemingly was at the time getting a law degree, wouldn't comment and wouldn't declare that what his wife was saying was actually false. Like, it's actually verifiably false that the world is not 6,000 years old. It's verifiably false that the world is not flat. It's verifiably false that dinosaurs and people did not live on the earth at the same exact time. It's false. But if you tell these people that it's false, they literally don't believe you. So even if Jill has wiped away some of the stuff she grew up in, she still believes the earth is 6,000 years. It's not true. It's not true. No matter how many times you want to say to my comments that it's true, it's not true. Goodbye, Hello Thrifty. I don't want you here. And if you are a fundamentalist that wants to just like hang out in my comments and be a jackass, I don't care. Like, it doesn't make it true. You can scream and yell till the cows come home that you say that it's true. It's not true. The world is not 6,000 years old, and you've been lied to. No, it's also not biblical to beat the shit out of your kids. It's not biblical to punch your kids in the face. It's not biblical to be homophobic. So I find it discouraging that you don't live in the real world if you think that the world is 6,000 years old. You don't live in the real world if you believe that gay people should be beat to death and killed. You don't live in the real world if you think that children should be beat into submission.
Okay. I'm grab some screenshots here. They're going to be very interesting. Oh my God. I'm going to pull them up shortly though. Right now, I'm going to keep playing this. I already played that one. Oh, here's where she talks about her family. This is interesting.
But I would be like unlikely to do that. I just wouldn't. So, I mean, and it's no different. I think of it this way too. Like, I have my own grievances with my own family, but I don't put out my grievances publicly. I don't really talk about my issues with my family publicly, because why? It's she wants to be a good Christian girl, but their kind of Christianity is not a kind of Christianity I would want to associate with. That, like, let me be honest. I have a lot of Christian friends. I have a lot of religious friends, and I have a religious family. My grandmother was very Catholic, and I have aunts and uncles and cousins that are very into church. And none of them make me feel like I'm a bad person because I don't go to church. None of them feel like they're superior to me because I am not a believer. But this brand of Christianity, these people, that's what they do. And they believe wholeheartedly that they're better than you. They believe that you are not as good as them. They believe that without God, it's impossible for you to do anything well. And they use that to make themselves feel better.
Okay, this one was funny. Oh, cringy, but funny.
Crumbs. can't joke anymore about anything, I guess. Crutch goblins, rugrats, hump dumplings. Yeah. Why is a rugrat any better? Oh, you called kids crotch goblins. Oh, humanity. Oh my gosh. Call the ambulance. Call the wambulance. That's what we would say in our house. Call the wambulance. Ankle biters
Wait,
are
what?
like dogs. That's what I call like small dogs.
All right.
Humpty Dumpty, Humpty Dumpling, Hump Dumpling. A hump dumpling. Oh my God. All right, this is going to time out.
Okay, 1 second. I'm looking for something here. Can I go to the next one? Where does I go to the next one? Is that not up anymore? All right. You know, I'm just going to take a screenshot and I'm going to share it here. So I didn't know this. Holy shit. Apparently she would talk to Kaylee Holt. Um, First, I want to read this one. Save the folder. Okay. Oh my God, I just read this a minute ago. Did Amy ever forgive you or reconcile with you in any way? Did Amy ever forgive you? Yes, she apologized. I texted with her this evening and with her mom. I don't know. Fucking Amy's fucking whack if she did that. But anyways, I want to share these now. Here we go. This here. Jim Holt's daughter, Kaylee, Josh's ex, tells me she married an whatever. Jim Holt counseled him for 2 years. None of them reported him to police. Oh, yes, when he was younger, he did do that to his brother one time. He did get help. Both got professional counseling. My husband tells people often of how the Lord saved him through that and how he had many people mentor him and his brother over the years to work through the damage that does. He's never hid that. Did he see a licensed counselor? He did, not from a church. Both boys, not from a church. She has her own practice. That's good. My husband actually recommended me to see her. Me and all my sisters have gone to see her. I should say my sisters that no longer live at home. First of all, I want to say Katie knew this over a year ago. Why is she outing all of this now? What does Kaylee Holt's husband have to do with this documentary? Why is she outing this now? Because, and here's how I know for a fact Katie knew about this over a year ago. Because, well, I can't show you the clip because Renell's going to be doing something with the clips, I believe, from this live stream. But there's one part in this live stream where Katie was showing something on her screen, and then she accidentally went to another screen. This other screen that she accidentally went to back when this live stream happened. I paused it and I took a screenshot of it, and I'm looking at it. And it's something about Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And the name on it, after I look it up and everything and figure out where she's looking at, the name on it is the name of Kaylee Holt's husband. And I forget, there's something else that was on it too, or whatever. One thing led to another. Oh, no, it's right. I started Googling who the hell this dude was, and I learned that this was her husband. And Kaylee's right here. He's been very open about this. It was so open that I was able to learn that Katie knew this over a year ago because she accidentally shared part of her screen. So Katie's known this whole time. Why is this such an issue that she has to release now? Why is she trying to hurt everyone in Holt's family? Like, wouldn't Kaylee be like a victim of Holt's by Katie Joy's assessment here? So why is she trying to fucking hurt her now? Oh, what about her husband's brother, the one that he victimized? Do you think the brother wants that out there or wants Katie fucking plastering this shit up there? I mean, what the fuck, man? I thought she was a victim's advocate, but she's not. She's not. She's just fucking not. I can't believe she's fucking sharing these. Oh my God. All right. Anyways, let me share the other ones I found. You are really simping for us offenders and abusers, Chuck. It's not a good look. You can change the topic if you want. Bottom line, you should not be sharing screenshots of conversations with people that were private conversations, only your side of the story. Simple. Yep. And here, oh, this screenshot, or actually all of these screenshots here, I have to give credit where credit's due. So I'm sure that everyone knows about the subreddit, the WOACB subreddit. Well, there's also a WOACB subreddit Discord, not run by the same people who run the subreddit, but it's all kind of like the same mission, I guess. There's I don't know. That's where I get a lot of my screenshots from. So I want to give them credit and thank them and everything. And if you're interested, consider, check them out. So here she's talking about, this is what she posted earlier. My platform is built on allowing people from cults to share with me anonymously, and I protect their identity in order to build trust and allow them to share without fear of retaliation. Also, Katie, I don't protect pedos, and I never promised Kaylee off the record. She told me and came to me. This is the thing, though, with Katie. Well, or no, it doesn't even matter. Even if she did, even if off the record was discussed, what is it Katie said? Off the record doesn't always mean off the record. When she shared Janelle's screenshots of their DMs and outed a domestic violence victim and could have possibly put her in harm's way. Yeah, off the record doesn't even always mean off the record. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is, if you pissed Katie off, she's gonna release him. Oh, okay. No, there she outed that again. Okay. Very unethical. You speak to people in private conversations and then later you share your own perception. This is the dude check from the other screenshot. Then later you share your own perception of those conversations without the other participants' permission or perspective. I'm about to block you for being a pedo protector. Like, who the fuck says that shit, man? I mean, why? Because he disagreed with you? Now he's a pedo protector? Unbelievable, though. I want to know where they got that one screenshot though from. Oh, was it just the one? See post. Oh, she added them. Okay. Dude, what the fuck? This doesn't make sense. So, all right. Receipts proof of Amazon's knowledge of Jim Holt's abuse. This is 7 hours ago, but I swear I read this before. Oh my God, this is what she's talking. This is what I was just saying. Amazon producers have known since January 28th, 2022. Oh, she gives an exact date. Oh, that's going to help me. That Jim Holt was abusing his wife and children. uh, the 22nd. Okay. So then that would mean she knew too since then. December 2021, Kaylee Holt DMs me. During our conversation, I asked her about a tip that I received about her husband abusing his brother. Kaylee confirms the abuse, claims it happened only one time, says her husband got counseling, and he tells everyone about it. I find her husband's LinkedIn bio and find out he's a volunteer at Boys and Girls Club and has been for 10 years. Her husband deletes his social media. Jim and Bobby confirmed to me over the phone they knew about the husband's essay. No one reported it to police. Kaylee and husband have 4 kids at this point, and she claims she's not worried about her husband because he was a curious teen. January 28th. I speak to Olivia and let her know about a court order against Jim Holt prohibiting him from contact with his granddaughter and revealed daughter Kaylee confirmed Jim Holt's abuse. I provide a screenshot of the court order. I also let her know that Kaylee confirmed her husband sexually abused his brother and he gets licensed therapy. Jim turns Amy and Deanna against me. Amy goes on a social media tirade against me, accusing me of being a liar. Oh my God. That's not what happened. She accused you of being a liar because you lied. Jim Holt told her I lied because I told her about the abuse too. March 2022. I leave the project. Producers are going another direction, and I want nothing to do with the series at this point. April 15, 2023, Springdale police receive a call regarding domestic violence related to the Holts. Police open investigation. The 20th, Samuel Holt hires lawyer and files an order of protection. 21st, Bobby files an order of protection due to the investigation. That's why they were filed on 2 different days. Okay. Judge grants both orders. I text producer Olivia at 3:57 p.m. 3:57. Same day. She calls me 13 minutes later. We speak for over an hour. Series is in post-production. Olivia apologizes to me for not listening to me about Jim. May 8th, 10-year order granted against Jim Holt. I text Olivia, no response. June 2nd, Docuseries goes live with no disclaimer about the active investigation and restraining orders against Jim Holt. Because Jim Holt was there to give eyewitness testimony to the ongoings of years ago regarding Josh Duggar. He wasn't there as a stand-up citizen, as a good guy, as a good provider, as a good member of the IBLP, because he's neither a good member or a member of the IBLP. He was there to speak about what he saw, what he experienced, what he was a part of with Josh Duggar from over a decade ago. Why do you need a fucking disclaimer for that? Oh, by the way, yeah, this guy was good enough for the U.S. government and shit. You know, his family was good enough for the U.S. government. That's why his wife testified on, Josh Duggar's trial. But we need to put a disclaimer up, even though he only talked about Josh Duggar and the Duggars and what he saw and witnessed. But we need to put this disclaimer up because Katie Joy said so. Because Jim Holt now has an order of protection against him by his wife over domestic issues. What's the point of that? What the fuck is the point of that? What? This, Katie, let your fucking ego go because you are going to drive you are going to really harm the people who are involved in this documentary. You're going to harm the people involved in future ones. You're going to harm the victims involved. If you keep thinking about only your fucking self and the fact that you didn't get to be the star of this docuseries because you have deemed yourself the expert on the Duggars. You're not. You're not. You're fucking not. You're not an expert on anything other than narcissism, how to be a fucking narcissist. My opinion, whatever. Oh, here's where that one was. Did Amy ever forgive you or reconcile with you in any way? Yes, she apologized. Amy, what the fuck are you thinking? Oh, I'm assuming that this is true. I don't know. Is this true? Yes, it is the same kid, Kaylee. I mean, that's why she's deeming it better. Okay. I always going through this. Is this why did she post the same screenshot twice? That I don't even get that. April 21st. Was it this year? 2033. The order of protection, like little snippets that she shared. They had the date 2033 in it. Someone asked, "Why does it say 2033?" And she said, "Oh, well, that's when it expires." But here's the same typo almost, or here's a typo just like that. I don't know. I don't get it. It's too many, you know. I text. I text Amazon producer. Hi- And this is what she says when she does it. Hi, Olivia. This is Katie Joy. Just want you to know that I was right about Jim Holt. He's been slapped with 2 orders of protection against him by his wife and son. He's been abusing his wife and kids for decades. That's why he can't talk and give testimony to Josh Duggar. Idiot. Oh, and then 4:10 p.m. she shows how Shelley called her back 13 minutes later. We spoke for an hour and 16 minutes. From an active investigation for abuse against. Wait, the way she writes it, is she saying there's an active investigation for the abuse against Jim Holt for abuse? There's an active investigation against Jim Holt for abuse. I think was she drunk tonight? She had it. Was she like? I'm thinking she was drunk. I'm really thinking she was just fucking drunk. That's crazy. No more screenshots. Okay. All right. All right. On that note, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's getting late. Let me check chat here real quick. Holy shit. There's a lot of people here in chat for that late. I was not expecting that. Well, not in chat, but people watching anyways. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. You're making the big mouse's coffee for work. Let me read some of these comments here though real quick. You're going to make me put a FOIA request for this. I don't know what that means. Who the fuck is her special friends that I mean she can see in here. Can't believe you don't kind of breakdown on Facebook. What are you talking about? Damn it, why don't I watch chat more often? Mousy, if you're still listening, Mousy, yes, I do remember that the fallout with Amy. It began like that was the catalyst, I think, for a lot of shit was the whole backwards Barbie thing. That's why I find it to be that much more hilarious that the docuseries played just a brief little clip of backwards Barbie. The docuseries that also featured Amy Duggar King in it. That also snubbed Katie Joy. It's like full circle, full circle. All right, I'm gonna end this, and then I'm gonna go look at Facebook real quick. So, all right, thanks everyone for being here. I know it was late, whatever. I'm going to go to Facebook, then I'm gonna go to sleep, and I have to go back to work tonight. But I will be streaming later tonight, probably like around midnight my time, Eastern time, because I think I'm only scheduled till 11. So, all right, bye everyone. Thanks for being here.